too. Yes, yes. So, um, all right. Are you okay? He's going through his first little cold or something. So we're like a little nervous because we've made it all this way and he has not gotten sick even once, but now he has some little thing is there. So we're trying to take extra special precautions, which is why if you look, he's not dirty. He has honey smeared all over him because my wife has all kinds of interesting herbal remedies. Um, so that's good. Okay, we talked about a lot about yesterday about the changing of the body and how, we are under the illusion that it's a new year and it's a new us. And a new us is going to arise. But actually we broke it down and it's made evident by Bhagavad Gita that actually there is no new us. There's new modes of nature. We can have a new mentality, a new perspective on life. We can have a new body. I once had a body that looked just like that, not too different than that. But over time, the body completely changes, but the person, the soul inside the body does not change. So you are not changing actually. All you are doing is shifting in consciousness. And so, but you are the same. But if we can shift our consciousness to that which does not have to change, do you ever notice that you hope good things never change in your life? When you have some good fortune or some fun, I hope this never ends. Do you know why you hope that it never ends? We talked about it last night. Who was here last night? Why does it not ever end? Why do you hope that it doesn't ever end? Because that's your actual true nature. As a soul, you never end, so you want everything that you associate to also be like you. And also, the soul has three qualities in eternity. These are Krishna's qualities, but here in the world, they are not the qualities of this world. And those three qualities are Sat, which means eternal, and also it means true, eternal and existent, always going to be there. So if you have some desire in this world, like say you want to be the CEO of Google, good luck. But say you want to do that in this world. Can you do that forever? Will Google be here forever? Will the position of a CEO in your life be there forever? Obviously not. So if you have these as your goal, the Vedas say you're asking for suffering. Why? Because you will not be able to hold on to your goal. Whatever your goal is, you will not be able to hold on. Like many people they have a goal. I want to have a baby. I want to be a mommy. I want to be a daddy. Some people they have this goal. But guess what? He will get older. He'll not be a baby forever. You can't hold on to anything in this world forever. But there is something you can hold on to forever, and we're going to talk about that. And this is what will make you happy, that which you can hold forever, because that's what you are. You're part of God's energy. That's Sat, Chit, and Ananda. So that which is eternal, that which is full of knowledge, and that which is full of bliss. That's your true nature, and that's what you're looking for. But why are we looking for things that we actually know if we study this, that can never be? Like, for instance, eating food. Yeah, we'll have like a nice prasadam meal. This is very nice. This is actually an eternal process, honoring prasadam. But let's just say you think maybe pizza can make you happy. But everyone knows you can only eat so many slices of pizza before you'll get sick and it won't make you happy anymore. Everyone knows. Everything is like that in the material world. But why do we keep looking for temporary things and thinking we'll be happy? It's insane, actually. It's insane to do the same thing over and over again and never quite finding happiness and not knowing why. But you know, oh no. You can't find happiness this way. It's like you like a firefly. You know these lightning bugs or silkworms, glowworms, fireflies? Imagine trying to light your room with fireflies. It doesn't. The light comes and it goes away. Light comes and it goes away. It's not going to work. So similarly, this is all temporary pleasures or things we're seeking in this world are but will-o-wisps. They come, they shine some light, some temporary pleasure. Oh, that tastes really good, but then it goes away. And if we think we'll find pleasure in this way, we're obviously mistaken. But unfortunately, due to our ignorance, we continue seeking this way. We continue chasing. So we have to do something else. So we'll talk about what that something else is. But we should also understand what is the source of our our issue here. So in the Bhagavatam, it's described as the city of nine gates. Do you know what the city of nine gates is? I'll give you a hint. You all know very well and actively are citizens of the city of nine gates. You're actually all the mayor of a city of nine gates. Your buddy. What are the nine gates? Yeah, all the holes of your body. In and out, all the holes of your body. We don't have to describe the lower holes, but the mouth, the ears, the eyes, the nostrils, and then the other. So all of these things have, whether in or out, they have functions. And we, being an illusion, we think this city of nine gates is the most wonderful, wonderful thing. But ultimately, this city of nine gates will eventually come to ruin. And you will have to lose your position as the Ishwar or the controller or mayor of this city of nine gates. So we have to know this, and a sober person doesn't know this. So I thought it would be fun today. Not necessarily fun, but I think Bhagavad Gita is fun. Not everyone thinks Bhagavad Gita is fun, but I think Bhagavad Gita is a lot of fun. And we will do. That's a really good verse. Very famous verse. Ready? But before we begin, let us chant some prayers. And we're going to seek the blessings of our gurus. We're going to seek the blessings of the Lord to reveal himself to us in the scripture. We're going to attune ourselves to being able to hear Bhagavad Gita so that we can actually take something from it. You know, if we just listen, but our heart isn't really in it, we can only get so much. But if we really are seeking shelter of Bhagavad Gita, we're seeking shelter of the masters who are presenting Bhagavad Gita here in the Western world to us, and then also coming down and inspiring disciples like myself and Madhav and other ashram and mates and devotees who have helped us. There's so much mercy has actually come. So maybe Tanu, you can be the scroller. I'll just share the screen here so that anyone else can see. There you go. So you can chant these prayers along, and they're glorifying our gurus and how they ultimately cure our blindness. We're all blind in this world, walking around blind in ignorance and suffering because of it. But this is the secret. They'll cure our blindness, open our eyes, and give us real life. When a blind person who is blind and the cataracts are removed and they get to actually experience and see life, they have such a new, fresh view of life. So similarly, when spiritual knowledge comes into our life and opens our spiritual eyes, you can't even imagine when you realize I've been blind this whole time. Oh my God, I could not see that. It's revolutionary. So the guru actually and the spiritual wisdom teachers and the scriptures, they all come and they remove that shroud of darkness, which is blindness. So you're all very fortunate on New Year's that you get to do this process of peeling our eyes open and being able to see life through the eyes of wisdom. So we'll chant these prayers.
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकलामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं ह्यहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं साद्वैतं सावधूतं चैतन्यं श्री राधा कृष्ण भदां सहगणं श्री विशाखामितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिकान्त श्री राधा नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च सिन्धुमेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम कृष्ण प्रसाय श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशाधारिणे
Anna, did you get that? You think you can, there's a little tea downstairs that you can add to the offering in the pot. So, she'll get for you. So, okay. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki. Already. So, everyone, repeat after me. You can see? Dehinosmin yata dehe. Komaram yovanam jara. Tatha dehantara praptir. Diras tatra namuhyati. Dehinosmin yata dehe. Komaram yovanam jara. Tatha dehantara praptir. Diras tatra namuhyati. Dehina, of the embodied, those who have a body. Asmin, in this body. Yatha, as. Dehe, in the body. Komaram, boyhood, like maybe his, right here. Yovanam, like maybe Satvik, right here. Youth, Jara. I don't want to pick on you, Vijay, but yeah, you are the only one here. I can. So Jara, in old age. Tatha, similarly. Dehantara, transference of the body. Praptir, the achievement. Dhira, a sober person, a wise person. Tatra, thereupon. Na, never. Muhyati, deluded. So, as the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. Prabhupada is going to say, since every living entity is an individual soul, each is changing his body every moment, manifesting sometimes as a child, sometimes as a youth, sometimes as an old man. Yet the same spirit soul is there and does not undergo any change. This individual soul finally changes the body at death and transmigrates to another body, and since it is sure to have another body in the next birth, either material or spiritual, there was no cause for lamentation by Arjuna. Remember, Arjuna, he was lamenting in Bhagavad Gita. And there was no cause for lamentation by Arjuna on account of death, neither for Bhishma nor for Drona. Sometimes we get so caught up on the change of people's body, death and things like that. But actually, for the soul, there is no change. They're going to go on to the next existence. What we can lament is I won't be able to experience that soul again. I won't be able to experience or know. But actually, even many of us, we've probably met many times in the past lives. This isn't probably our first meeting. Oh man, you look horrible. So anyhow, neither for Bhishma nor for Drona, for whom he was so much concerned. Rather, he should rejoice for their changing bodies from old to new ones, thereby rejuvenating their energy. Such changes of body account for varieties of enjoyment or suffering according to one's work in life. So Bhishma and Drona, being noble souls, were surely going to have either spiritual bodies in the next life, or at least life in heavenly bodies for superior enjoyment of material existence. So in either case, there was no cause of lamentation. So we should know this actually. If we uh, if we practice nobility, if we practice being pious, good, dharmic souls who do the right things, who work for the Lord, and who accept God and try to serve God, not only will we have nothing to fear at death, but we can actually celebrate death. Not that we try to speed it up and let me, you know, but when it does come, by nature, it will naturally come. For such personalities, I'll give you an example. It was amazing. We had a Western woman named Holly here, and Holly was part of our community for about a year, right? A little longer, a year and a half, 2 years maybe. But at some point, we started to notice Holly's in her mental state. There was something happening there. So so I was trying to help her, and she would come, but she was experiencing a lot of distress at this time, and she started coming to the programs more and more and more. And at the end, actually, she was coming almost every day. And actually, she planned a party, and for her party, she wanted us to cater prasadam. So we said, okay. So we made a bunch of prasadam and prepared it. But then on the day of the party, she never called and never came to get the prasadam. It was like a Christmas party. It was like about a year ago. And so what ended up happening is that Holly on that day had a fall. And this fall would be the uh, result which would eventually end her life. She fell and could not get up. And for 3 whole days, practically, she was lying there with not able to get up, no food, no water, no anything. I think 2 days she was like that. And I'll tell you about it. Krishna is so merciful that he did that for her. And I'll tell you why in some time. So Holly was, she was someone conditioned by the Western world. So for her to accept all these things was not as easy as, say, an Indian coming in and accepting Bhagavad Gita. But you know what? She had some faith and she had some hope and she really liked the prasadam. She often would tell me when I'm speaking, can you please speak less? She would not say it in such nice words, but she would tell me that I should speak less and we should get to the prasadam earlier. But but and I appreciated her honesty and she wanted us to go back to the singing and the dancing. She really liked that. The speaking and all this studying, that's not as interesting. But she would come regularly, almost every day at the end. Um, but I remember one time I would tell her the importance of doing, spiritual activities and fasting and all of these things. And she told me, I ain't never fasting. She spoke like that. I ain't never fasting, she told me. I said, you don't have to fast, Holly. You just come and eat prasadam, do what we do. But very interestingly enough, she would come every day. And wouldn't you know, when it was time for her to leave her body, and we didn't know that was coming, none of us knew, and she didn't know. When it was time for her to leave her body, uh, Krishna made her fast on a very special day. The day she fell right before an Ekadashi day. And she was down on the ground, completely fasted for throughout the whole Ekadashi, and they didn't find her body until the Ekadashi was complete. So even if she was unable and unwilling to fast at the end of her life, Krishna made her fast and get the blessings of performing an Ekadashi. And by that, on a Mokshara Kadashi. And by that, at the very interestingly enough, we found out what happened to her and we went to go visit her. And she was in critical condition and we never were able to speak to her again after the incident happened. But by really good fortune, um, we went to visit her and then her family asked us to visit one more time, like a week later. And we actually reached back out to them and they said, yes, please come. So we came, and when we visited, we were able to give her tulsi leaves. We were able to smear, put Ganga water on her, put oil from the Nrsinga deity. So many blessings. And then from the last time we visited, there was a picture of Radha Krishna like that hung up in her room. And uh, the last hour of her life was spent, we did not know. Um, the last hour of her life was me and my wife when she was pregnant with Abhiram at the time. Me and my wife, well, and Abhiram, but Abhiram was in the womb, and and we had a kirtan for her, like we did, and we were singing, and I just knew this was the last time we would see Holly. I didn't know how soon we would not see her, but I knew this is the last time we'll see Holly. So we belted out a kirtan for her, and we begged Krishna to please deliver her and to make her life better. And wouldn't you know, we got out of that room and we got out of there and we went to talk with their family and they said, thank you so much for coming. We just want to let you know we've all talked to the doctors and have all agreed we're going to take her off the life support right tonight. And we said, oh, really? And he said, so I hope you
This
said,
is right in Syracuse?
yes, in
How long have
Syracuse.
you been here?
We've been here 3 years. So 3 years, but she was part of our community for 2 years.
Oh,
About. Yeah, we've been here almost 4 years. In March actually was our first program here 4 years ago, this March. But we didn't move here till June of that year.
before that, the one from North Carolina.
What's that?
Before that, the
Yes, the gentleman from North Carolina,
he was doing it.
he was, yeah, doing it and setting the foundation and looking for people to,
Yeah.
he was looking for us to come here.
Take it.
The first time he asked us, we denied. We said, we're not going to Syracuse. You see all this snow? We're not coming here. No way. So he said, no, there's a nice community. They love you guys. And Krishna forced us. He put us in all kinds of hardship in our life and forced us. Okay, actually, Keshava Gopal, you still have that place in Syracuse? So, yeah, we thought we had things figured out. So, but anyhow, uh, so then Holly, what ended up happening was she left. And yes, we cried and we were like, a little bit upset. But actually, before that, both me and my wife were hoping she would leave because we were just to watch her condition in the hospital was so miserable. To watch how they're, constantly putting things in and out of her body, and she has no free will, and it's, uh, you know, everything's hooked up to bags. She's going to the bathroom involuntarily through bags, and it's just a horrible type of existence. And we were just begging Krishna to take her. So when she left, we celebrated actually. Not like but we, dedicated
Yeah.
programs to her, had kirtans for her, and we are very happy. And I actually know, and also, and we didn't realize when everything happened, when everything in the midst, we didn't realize, but after the fact, when we looked at the dates of everything happened, we realized that Krishna had her fast for that Mokshada Ekadashi right before she. So whatever conditioning, whatever obstacle was there for her to really take up to some of these processes, Krishna actually brought to her at the final days, and she was able to get so much benefit. There's so much benefit if you fast on an Ekadashi or if you observe one of these spiritual festival days. You can't even imagine the amount of benefit coming to you. Krishna is so merciful. And so he was so merciful to Holly that because she was coming and doing devotional even, she liked to sing, dance, and eat prasad. And that was about it. She didn't want anything to do with it. You would never have, on her own free will, got her to ever observe any fast or study any scripture, anything like that. That wasn't part of her program. But Krishna forced her into that program at the very end. And when she did leave, we were so joyous that he had arranged everything the way he did. Why? Because we knew she's going to get a much better destination. She's going to get a much better destination this way. And in this way, the devotees can actually celebrate death and not be You know, like similarly, at some point, my greatest hope here is that, and I'm sure Vijay and Sarojini, as the elders of the group, they want to see that they leave this body before any of us. That's usually the case. The elderly never want to see the young leave before them.
Now, let me ask you something.
Yes,
You said when she died, you cried, right?
yes, yes,
What does Krishna say actually? We
yes.
are not supposed to cry.
No, no, no. Even you can see with Abhimanyu's death, Abhimanyu dies in Mahabharata. Krishna also cries.
Oh.
Arjuna also cries.
Oh.
But we shouldn't, at the same time, we shouldn't spend the time over lamenting. You know, he says in the beginning to Arjuna, Ashocha nanvashochastvam, pragyavadams chabashase, gatasuna gatasums cha, nanushochanti pandita. He's saying that you're lamenting for that which is not worthy of lamentation. So he's saying because he didn't want to fight because he didn't want to see that Bhishma and Drona would die. And then Krishna is saying, pragyavadams chabashase. You're speaking learned words. Um, you're speaking like a learned man from the Vedas. But then he says, Gatasun agatasums cha. For the living nor the dead, nanusha chanti pandita. A wise man never laments. So there's a proper mourning of death, but you don't lament. You don't, like you can cry, it's natural. It's natural to cry, but you should never you be angry or, why, God, like, why did you take them? This isn't proper. You never think like that. You should always understand that Krishna has done this because something is better is for them. You should always trust that. So he's saying Gatasun Agatasun for the living or the dead. Nanu Shochanti Pandita. A wise man will never lament. So Krishna does say that. But we did cry for her because we weren't going to see her anymore. But we weren't crying for her. Oh no, what is she now? No, we were actually much happier. We knew she was in a much better position. But for us, we were crying because we will not be able to associate with her like that anymore. Wherever she is, who knows? Maybe Holly's going to be in one of Abhiram's friends. Maybe Holly will be one of Abhiram's friends soon or something like this. We never know. Maybe Holly is in the spiritual world. We have no idea what Krishna had the arrangement for her. Who knows? But for her, there's not to lament. But for us, yes, we can naturally say, I'm missing you. Just like sometimes some of our boys, we've had boys live here, and then they stay here for a year plus, and then they get a job, a career, and then they go. And at the time when they leave, we're a little emotional and we're a little upset. Okay. But we're not lamenting, oh, you're going to be miserable over here. You'll never have anything good over here. No, no, Krishna will bless them over here too. We're not lamenting for that, but we're lamenting because I won't be able to see you anymore. I'm missing you. That's natural.
Now, Abhiram is the official name, or?
Abhiram is his official name.
Yeah,
Birth
that's what I
certificate.
thought.
Yes,
Because
yes.
you guys all have the American names.
Yes, yes. This name is biblical, Abhiram.
Oh,
It's Vedic as well. It's a rare name that is both meaning in the Bible and in Vedas.
how in Bible?
In the Bible, Abhiram means he whose father is exalted. So it's a good thing for
Whose
me.
father?
The child's father is exalted. That's what it means. He whose father is exalted, and also if you understand that as God is your father, he who is realizing the greatness of God.
Oh, okay.
So it could also mean he whose father, which would be me. So I'm okay with that name. But I didn't choose for that. We chose for the Vedic. And it means, and the Vedic, he who is always near pleasure. So anyone who sees Abhiram, he's fulfilling that. They usually get some pleasure when they see him. So wherever he goes, pleasure will be nearby. So that's what Abhiram means. It's a name for Lord Shiva, actually.
Huh?
Or Abhiram is a name of Lord Shiva.
Oh, Lord Shiva.
Yes, one of his names is Abhiram.
Oh.
And so wherever he is, pleasure goes.
But I thought Lord Shiva is more for destruction.
That is his role, but also he's a great Vaishnava, and he's a great personality, one of the greatest in this whole universe. And anyone who associates with him intimately will get lots of pleasure, So, but he ultimately one of his things. He's also Ashutosh. He's very easily pleased. So even a lot of demons, they will have the tendency to want to worship Shiva more because he's easily pleased and he will give things easily. So Krishna, if you ask Krishna for money, he will not so easily give you money because he knows that money will intoxicate you and bring you deeper into illusion and and he doesn't want to see you destroy yourself. But Lord Shiva, he has no problem letting you destroy because that's his destruction.
That's why Ravana is great
Shiva devotee. That's right. That's why not just Ravan is a great Shiva devotee. Many demons they have chosen to worship Shiva because Shiva will actually give the things that Krishna won't.
Easily give.
Yeah, Krishna does not easily give. Why? Because Krishna only will give you that which is beneficial for you. Shiva, he will also give you which is beneficial for you, but you have to be less pious to worship Shiva because he will give you that which will lead you to ruin. So many times, like for instance, many of these big scientists at CERN, you've heard of this CERN, they have the Large Hadron Collider, top scientists in the world. They have been caught multiple times worshiping a large Murti of Shiva. Why? Because they know that they're doing a lot of interdimensional portal things that we actually have no idea what they're getting into.
Oh.
But they do a lot of but they actually worship Shiva in some tantric way because they're hoping for his blessings. And I think he's going to give his blessings to them, but it will lead them to ruin actually. So this is Shiva's uh you know, like Abhimanyu, before Abhimanyu, not Abhimanyu, what's the other one? What's Drona's son? Ashvatthama. Ashvatthama, he was blessed by Lord Shiva before he went and massacred the whole Pandava camp when they were all sleeping. And ultimately, you know, but Ashvatthama, he wanted to do this, and Shiva blessed him to do what he wanted to do. But even though that would lead to his ruin, um, ultimately Shiva, he lets people walk into destruction, where Krishna will never let a person walk into destruction.
Did you hear this when Abhimanyu is in the stomach of, when he was a kid, when he was going to be kid, Arjuna was telling him, Padma Yoham means how to get out of that Mahabharata war.
Yeah,
Then Krishna, somebody comes and stops in the middle
yes,
for some reason.
yes.
Somebody, stops in the middle. That's why they say Abhimanyu couldn't get out
Yes,
of
he
that.
knew how to get into the
Yeah.
the Chaturvyuha assembly. He couldn't get out. But actually, you'd say, well, why would Krishna do that? Why would Krishna let that happen to Abhimanyu? Because actually, this is
I don't know if Krishna did. I thought.
yeah, Krishna arranged somehow. But why would it be arranged that Abhimanyu? Yeah.
I stepped. That's why she couldn't hear the part where he was telling about that how to get out.
Ah, so well, they're very good because I don't know my Mahabharata so intently.
What?
Krishna did not take the fight. He was like Arjuna was telling to Subhadra. So during that time, she only heard the part where how you could enter the Chakravyuh, but she slept out during that part when he was telling that how to get out.
Oh, he slept.
Oh, okay, so he was in the womb hearing it,
Oh,
so the wife slept. So, well, you could say, well, why would Krishna allow for that whole thing to happen? Not a lot of people know this, but in Abhimanyu's astrological chart, he had problems with his uncle, maternal uncle, and you know who that would be?
Krishna?
Krishna. So actually, the arrangement was for Abhimanyu to die a hero,
Oh.
so that ultimately he didn't because later in his life, in his astrology, he was destined to become an enemy to his uncle. So
Oh.
instead of becoming an enemy to Krishna, which would be against his best interest, they had arranged for Abhimanyu to die a hero so that he would actually ascend rather instead. So there's a lot of logistical things why that would happen. Now, let's keep reading here. Any man who has perfect knowledge of the constitution of the individual soul, the super soul, and nature, both material and spiritual, is called a dhira, or a most sober man. Such a man is never deluded by the change of bodies. The Mayavadi theory of oneness of the spirit soul cannot be entertained on the ground that spirit soul cannot be cut into pieces as a fragmental portion. Such cutting into different individual souls would make the supreme cleavable or changeable, against the principle of the supreme soul being unchangeable. So the Mayavadis, they theorize that if we can overcome illusion, we can be merged back into God, and we can be God again. That's what their whole thing is. Happy New Year. Hare Krishna, Dainya, and Nadia, Hare Krishna. That's very good to know. Thank you. Wow. She called it bubble juice?
Lovely.
Oh, bubbly juice. So very nice. Very nice. Oh, because instead of champagne, you have sparkling apple cider. That's cute. That's very good. So, and I think Americans do that too. I haven't been to a New Year's party in a while, but that's usually what they do. So anyway, as confirmed in the Gita, the fragmental portions of the Supreme exist eternally, Sanatan, and are called akshara. That is, they have a tendency to fall down into material nature. These fragmental portions are eternally so, and even after liberation, the individual soul remains the same, fragmental. But once liberated, he lives an eternal life in bliss and knowledge with the personality of Godhead. So this is the new you we're looking for. You know, it's the same you, but instead of being conditioned by this material world, you can be completely liberated from it, and you can exist in what he says, in eternal life of bliss and knowledge. We're all looking for that. We're all looking for bliss. We're all looking for things not to change and it to always be good all the time. And we're looking to always be illuminated in knowledge. We don't like not knowing things and making all kinds of mistakes. You know, we're all looking for knowledge as well. Why? Because that's what our nature is. That's the eternal nature of the soul. That's the eternal nature of Krishna. But due to some arrangement of Krishna, we've been planted here in this material world. And just like a seed has to be planted in the ground and rise on up out of it into the light to grow nice. So similarly, us too, we've been planted here, and we have to also rise on up through the process of bhakti and achieve this wonderful, beautiful fruit of prem, or love, divine love, which will grow if we try to grow back towards the Lord. And so this is this is hopefully the inspiring new you that comes. It's not the new you, you're the same spirit soul, but now the fresh consciousness is there. Instead of trying to stay in the dirt and try and enjoy all the worms and things down there, you know, you can rise to the sun and shine in the light, and you can have a wonderful experience of bliss with Krishna forever. And it's and Krishna's devotees forever. So anyway, this is one thing. Let's see if we can finish this purport. The theory of reflection can be applied to the supersoul who is present in each and every individual body and is known as the Paramatma, who is different from the individual living entity. When the sky is reflected in water, the reflections represent both the sun and the moon and the stars also. The stars can be compared to the living entities, and the sun or the moon to the Supreme Lord. The individual fragmental spirit soul is represented by Arjuna, and the Supreme Soul is the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. They are not on the same level, as it will be apparent in the beginning of the 4th chapter. If Arjuna is on the same level with Krishna, and Krishna is not superior to Arjuna, then their relationship of instructor and instructed becomes meaningless. If both of them are deluded by the illusory energy Maya, then there is no need of one being the instructor and the other the instructed. Such instruction would be useless, because in the clutches of Maya, no one can be an authoritative instructor. Under the circumstances, it is admitted that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord, superior in position to the living entity. Arjuna, who is a forgotten soul, deluded by Maya. So we have to understand the position here. Why are we even reading Bhagavad Gita? It's because we are in confusion, we are in darkness, we're in a position that is not so good, suffering in the material world. But luckily in Bhagavad Gita, there is someone who's beyond that, and they can take us out of that. So for us, um, here, we might not have access to Krishna directly instructing us, like Arjuna did. But we do have the same instruction in Bhagavad Gita, but we also, there are liberated souls walking this planet. And those liberated souls, if we can come in contact with them, they can take us out. That's why we chant Om Agyana Timirandasya. So Agyana is due to ignorance. Timira is darkness. Andasya is the removing, or no, the blindness. The blindness of darkness. Um, uh, Om Agyana Timirandasya. Gyananjana Shalakaya. Through the ointment of knowledge. He's applying the ointment of knowledge to our eyes. Chakshurun, the chaksha is the eyes. Unmilitam are open. Yena. By whom? Tasmai Shri, unto him Shri Guru. Shri Gurave Namaha. We offer our obeisances. And only the Guru, who has already been liberated by another liberated soul, one of Krishna's empowered devotees, he can liberate others. So the devotees, if we can come in contact with these liberated souls, we ourselves can become liberated, and then we can start to liberate others. And so this is the process. So hopefully, this new year and new you can come across some liberated soul. And these liberated souls can help you open your eyes and come out of the darkness of our ignorance, which is only going to cause us suffering. And it will become growingly more and more suffering as we eventually do approach death. And it's but even there's so many things in youth. We're going to suffer. In ignorance, we're always going to suffer. It's just a guarantee. But if we can come into true knowledge, we don't have to suffer, and we'll be blessed by the Lord. And we'll always know how to stay blessed by the Lord. Krishna is recommending that we practice the process of bhakti. First, he recommends we practice the process of yoga. And he talks about the 4 different types of yoga. And you might have to start at karma yoga. Almost certainly you'll have to start at karma yoga. Do you know what karma yoga is? What's that? Well, let's start. What is yoga? Anyone knows what yoga means?
I think, you don't think about body and all that. And
That could be a part of yoga. Any ideas, Danya? Yoga? Yes. Yeah, to be connected, to be united with ultimately who? The Supreme, the Supreme. To be connected to the Absolute. In truth, in knowledge, and in bliss. So this is the process of yoga. We have to somehow get tuned in and connected. So there's 4 different ways you can get tuned in and connected. Krishna says the easiest way to start anyone can do is through karma. What is karma?
action.
Yeah, your actions. So everyone has many actions you're already doing in this world. Some people are students, some people are employees, some people are parents, some people are, grandparents. Are you grandparents? Yeah. Oh yeah, lots of three grandchildren. So through your actions, all of your actions, you can somehow try to connect them with the Supreme. How can you do that? Maybe I've actually already seen uh, some of our older professional people here. They decided, oh, I want to help support the temple. Some of our younger people here, they also decide, I also want to help, but we're broke. So I'll come and I'll help you cook for the temple. I'll help, do these things. You can just take your actions and you can offer it in service to the Lord in whatever best way that you can. Then, over time, by doing this karma yoga, what will arise naturally is the process of jnana yoga. Now, jnana yoga is to understand more deeply what's going on in this world. What is the result of action? And we start to realize, oh, maybe all of these endeavors and things I've been working so hard for in my life, maybe this is not the ultimate goal of life. And instead, what you start to do is you start to, well, let me learn more about the Lord. And so you start to study this nature, you study the existence. So much of the Bhagavad Gita, in fact, the last 6 chapters are all about jnana yoga up until the very end, where the conclusion of pure bhakti is saying this is the best yoga. And then so once you know all about all of these things, you'll actually become, you'll be inclined towards a more of a meditative lifestyle. You won't be so inclined to, let's work hard in this, that, and the other thing. You'll be, I'm going to, focus more on meditation. I'm going to focus more on realizing myself. And so you might take to the process of Ashtanga yoga, yeah, control your eating very strictly, become more meditative, all these things. And you might even achieve some perfection in doing like this. This is also yoga. But Krishna, he ultimately, he says, the best yogi is he who's completely absorbed in me. And then back to bhakti yoga, this is what we teach here, where when someone has realization, they realize the existence of Bhagavan or God, and they realize the whole purpose of life is to try to become Bhagavan's servant. And so many of you are also aspiring to do that. Like, for instance, Danya, she's initiated also trying to be a servant of God. And what that looks like in the long term, it can't necessarily be revealed so easily. But through the study of the Shastras and the conclusions of the Acharyas, all of this will be revealed in due time. So, the goal here is to hopefully get to the platform of bhakti. But before you maybe even get to that platform of bhakti, the realization of yoga has to come. That you are connected already to God. But right now, through our actions, we have disconnected ourselves willingly. Not that God has disconnected us. We actively have an aversion of trying to reconnect to God. I'll give you an example. All the churches are empty in this country. Why are they all empty? Practically.
Yeah, they are on cell phones.
Yeah, people are on cell phones. People are doing this. They'd much rather stay up late on Saturday night with going to the bar, this, that, and the other thing. I don't want to get up early and worship God. And for whatever reason, for all kinds of reasons, they are actively choosing to do practically everything else other than approach God. But they're not alone. We also have this tendency. We prioritize so many other things before we prioritize actively seeking God. So, bhakti is the process of realizing what's called sambandha jnana, realizing that there is no more important relationship than my relationship between me and the Lord. I'm the Lord's eternal servant. He is my eternal master. I should serve him. And then engaging in the process of how to do that. And so that is revealed in the Shastras, that's revealed by our lineage of acharyas. We did a lot of it today, singing bhajans and prayers for the Lord, worshiping the devotees of the Lord who are showing the path, the gurus. We're going to do this archana process. We're going to do an arati, a puja, and singing the Lord's name. A lot of these practices, making offerings for the Lord, honoring prasadam, all of our food, ideally all of our food. We eat so many things in this world. There's so many restaurants, there's so many cafeteria food, things in that. But the devotee, hopefully, comes to the point they make some commitment. I only want to eat your prasadam. And even if by circumstance you get caught in a place where you can't offer prasadam, at least in the mind, with the best ingredients that you have available, I can somehow try to make an offering to you. And so in this way, you can always feel connected. Prahlad Maharaj did this. When he was in the pit of snakes, they were giving him poisoned food as well. And they were thinking, so Prahlad Maharaj said, okay, this is what is being given to me. Lord, this is the prasadam I'm honoring of you. Thank you so much for bestowing this food. I'm going to honor this as your prasadam. And so what happened? Prahlad would eat this contaminated food, and what would happen to him?
He will get sick.
No, nothing happened. He became strong and healthy, and everyone was shocked. He's eating poison. How? Why? Because it said that Lord Shiva, he can swallow poison, and he's Vishnu's devotee. So he'll
Oh,
come.
you're talking about
Yeah,
God.
yeah. Prahlad is the devotee of Hiranyakashipu.
Oh,
So Prahlad could eat. Lord Shiva will come. Yeah, yeah, the son of Hiranyakashipu. I'm sorry, the devotee of Lord Nrsimha, of Vishnu. So Prahlad would eat. He took even that poison food, but it was still often offered. Guess what? All of our food and water supply is also poisoned. You know, they're actively spraying glyphosate and cancerous and poisonous chemicals all over our food everywhere. Even the organics, it's they're organic, chemicals they're spraying on it. They're actively, even when that does not happening, there's planes actively dropping poisonous things all over us. We cannot stop it. They put poisons in the water supply. You cannot stop it. But if you offer that to the Lord by this mystical process, Lord Shiva can come and take the poison, and you'll be left with the prasadam, and you can be nourished. Um, Not to say we should actively try to, oh, no problem, we'll just get some poison, because if we don't have sufficient faith, we might give ourselves problem.
And nowadays I worry so much to go to restaurant because food may be great restaurant,
Yeah.
but if the guy don't wash his hands.
Yeah, no, it's one of the worst things you can do is eat outside of your own control and ability to offer to the Lord. If you go to the devotees and like here, we have very strict standards of how prasadam is offered. Everyone should be clean, everyone should be showered. No one should ever be eating while cooking. In the back of every restaurant, people, especially in America, I used to work in there, they're eating, they're cooking, and it's they're sweating, there's no proper standard. And yeah, you'll take that in the food. But what we want as devotees, we want to offer that food to the Lord. And these are some processes of bhakti. But the main processes of bhakti are revealed. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma, Nivedanam. For everyone, this is but actually what you're all doing, the first process of bhakti right now is Shravanam. Just come and hear about Krishna. This is very, very important. Very, very important. If we don't hear about Krishna, we won't know how to do the other processes of bhakti. There's really only two rules in Krishna bhakti. It's to always remember Krishna, which is said in the end of Bhagavad Gita, and to never forget him. But the problem is, Jiva Goswami, he writes about the 60 in his Bhakti Sandarbha. He writes on the 64 limbs of bhakti very extensively. But when it comes to remembering Krishna, the most important instruction, do you know what he says? What's that? No, not here. What he says, it's part of the answer, but not completely. He says, uh, you can only remember about Krishna by practicing all of the other limbs of bhakti. So he says he writes so extensively on every limb of bhakti, pages upon pages, and he writes practically one paragraph on smaranam, the most important limb of bhakti. And he says you can only do smaranam, remember Krishna, by practicing the other limbs of bhakti. So ultimately, the most important in the beginning is to hear. It's the first process of bhakti, because without shravanam, you won't know how to practice the other limbs. You'll have no knowledge on how to practice the other limbs. So what the devotee for the new year, the new you, the new activities we should do is try to be committed to hearing about Krishna. We're going to invite many guests here who are very qualified in sharing Krishna. Um, Dainya, her guru, will he come here again this year? Okay. So His Grace Mukunda Prabhu, he's one of the many exalted personalities who come, and they're very realized on bhakti, many years of practicing, studying under masters. So we should hear. We should hear from these personalities, and we should grow our bhakti, and then we should practice our bhakti. And so you're all doing to some extent already. You're coming to programs, you like hearing Bhagavad Gita, and you should keep doing like this. And then on your own, you should also take some other practices. At your home, you can read Bhagavad Gita. At your home, you can take some chanting japa beads and you can chant the Maha Mantra. You can call out to Krishna personally. You can sing while you work. Ladies, while they do the housework, you can sing the Maha Mantra. You can sing different bhajan songs about the Lord. All the songs that we sing here, we can teach you all those songs, and you can sing those songs at home. When I was traveling with my wife with family, that was my program every day. Okay, I can't do any worship. I have no good facility here. This is a terrible environment to practice bhakti, but I can still sing. And so my program every day is while I'd shower. I had to take more showers there because I would get so dirty because the dogs are everywhere. And so anyway, but while I showered, I would go through all of my bhajans. Vibhavari Shesha Loka Pravesha Nidra Chari Uttajiva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murad. So anyone, you could do this anywhere. Everyone showers, everyone brushes their teeth. Everyone do all these things. You can think of things, while I was cooking things. Vacho vegamana sakrota vegam jiva vegamudaro pasta. You can sing these things and you can remember these things. So there's a way for everybody. No matter your situation, you can do something. But the thing is, you have to try, how can I offer this to God? And if you understand that's the topmost thing to do, then you're in a really good position. Unfortunately, not everyone might have that faith in the beginning. So Krishna, if you study Bhagavad Gita, he gives you a progressive path, starting from karma yoga. So, all right, you do something. Try to engage this in the absolute. Do this for the higher good. Don't be attached to your fruits. Only misers get attached to the fruits of their activities. Don't work for yourself. Work for a higher purpose. This is karma yoga. And jnana yoga. Yes, you can realize all about the nature of this world. All these temporary things can never make you happy. All of it is an illusion, and it leads to death. And a bewildered. This is kind of some jnana, the verse we shared today. What did he say? The self-realized soul is not bewildered by the changes of bodies. This is a form of jnana. You should know this. You should know all these things. And then maybe you have some meditative practice in your life and you try to connect to the Lord that way. But Krishna himself, he's revealing that the number one thing you can do is to engage in bhakti. And by this bhakti, you will really be the topmost yogi. You'll be the most connected person. So, and it's not a competition, but it's a competition with yourself. In this new year, just be better than you were last year. Do more. And there's no limit. Oh, I'm old, I can't practice bhakti. Nope. Oh, I'm young, I can't practice bhakti. Nope, you can. Oh, I'm in a PhD program. I have no time for bhakti. This is illusion. All of these things are illusions. The only thing that's telling you have no time for bhakti is the illusion of not knowing who you really are and what's really important. Oh, I have job interviews, no time for bhakti. Oh, I have work, and there's no time for bhakti. The problem is right now you don't understand what to work for. You're thinking you're working for some goal, some fruits of your activity, and this is a result of misery, actually. So we should not work like this in this world. We should work for the Lord's pleasure and trust that if we do things for the Lord's pleasure, He will certainly maintain us. And this is one of the limbs of Sharanagati, or surrender, which is what the Lord asks of us. So anyhow, that's our program. Happy New Year's. We're going to do an arti. We'll end with an arti. Is there any question or concern?
So,
Yes.
it's funny.
No, it's good.
Anyhow, this is something, like, Jesus Christ, he tells his, those 12 on everybody, if you believe in me and my Father, don't die.
Yes, yes.
What he meant is, I'm thinking, what he meant is, if you believe in God, your soul won't die. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes. So as far as Jesus, I would have to get the actual scripture up and see exactly what he said. But Krishna is saying here, you already don't die. You'll never die already. But yes, but what Jesus was referring us to is the eternal position where you never have to experience this death anymore. If you're here in this world, you have to experience death. because you have an affinity for illusory things in this world, and we're still in the darkness. So everything that we experience is conditioned by death. That's just one of the four main sufferings: birth, old age, disease, and death. You have to experience that in this world. There's no stopping it. But if you practice bhakti, or if you practice devotion and love unto God, which Jesus is also teaching, then you no longer have to experience death. And Krishna gives this as well.
Yeah.
Even Krishna says, Janma karma chime divyam, evam yoveti tatvataha, tyaktva deham punar janma, naiti mameti sorjana. Where he's saying, just by knowing about the transcendental nature of my birth and activities, you never have to take birth again in this material world. Just by knowing of Krishna. So, like Jesus said, if you have believe in God, you never have to. Just by knowing of God. But if you know of God, the realization that you should serve God should come. If it hasn't come yet, then you don't really know God. You know.
Does he meant also the soul never dies, it goes from body to body?
Well, so Jesus wasn't so much concerned. He didn't want you to go body to body
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
Jesus wanted you to achieve the eternal destination.
Oh,
So he was pointing about this. Where in the older Vedic tradition, they said, "Don't worry, you have some time." But Jesus put some urgency because you might not get this opportunity again. I'm not going to come back here again
oh,
for you guys at this time. Right now, you focus on this. This is our shot, and we give everything we have to serving God, and we'll get the best destination. So that's what he's recommending. So we should also do. We should also have urgency. Why wait and, oh, well, I'll just get it in next lifetime. Right, maybe I'll do it 3 lifetimes from now. Why wait? The lifetimes are filled with suffering. Why should you just, oh, I'll practice. The biggest illusion, we meet a lot of Indians especially. And when we talk to the Indians, we tell them, oh, you should take some devotional. Oh, I'll do that when I'm older.
yeah.
You'll have no time when you're older. You'll have no strength, and when you're older, so many things are already there.
That's why they say procrastination is the bad thing, right?
Yes, yes, you should never procrastinate. As soon as you realize what to do, the conclusion is said, it's labdva sudarlamamidam bahusam bhavante manushya martadam anitya api hadirha tornam yate tanapate anumrityu yavan nishrayasaya vishaya kalu sarvatasyat. What that means is that we've obtained this rare and amazing opportunity of being a human being. But it's a temporary opportunity. So once you have some realization of what you're to do, what the real artha, the real wealth is, why this human birth, the human birth is to understand God. Nishrayasaya. Once you understand, turnam yateta, you have to immediately act. You should not wait even a single moment, because you never know when you'll lose this opportunity. Young people die all the time. And then also, what most likely will happen is you'll get so busy doing all these other things and conditioned doing them. When you're old, you won't be able to break all those habits. So right now, start. Right now, you should start. Why should you wait? Oh, I'll do that later. You're not going to, if you can't do it now, you won't do it later.
So when did you get first introduced to this Hare Krishna thing?
It was a long process, actually, because I myself, I had some realization. I had an out-of-body experience, and that made me question reality. Why am I doing what I'm doing? If I can go out of my body, then I must not be this body. Who am I? So this was one of the things that happened in my life. So for years I was looking and looking and looking, and but as Jesus says, when you seek, you shall find. Eventually, I found some answers, and I met some devotees, and they helped me go further and further and further and further, and then they're still helping me, and I'm going further, and now I'm helping others, and I'm more actively engaged in that role too. And yeah, but it's a process. It's not like, oh, I just got it one day, oh, I'm enlightened. No, I had progressive enlightenment happen in my life, and then the devotees in Krishna, they helped guide me. And now I'm made it to some little spot here, but there's so much farther to go, but it's an undeveloping, but it happened for me in about 2012, these things started to happen for me.
I want to know when Govind, right?
Madhav.
Oh, Madhav, when he got it.
Well, he was given, maybe he could
What
tell
I
you.
mean is, when
Yeah.
he found out
Yeah, well,
about this thing.
well, he found out when he was a little boy. His father,
Oh.
Craig, his father, Craig, if you've ever met his father, he's known the devotees. He found out in the 70s about this, and he started studying then. But life happens, and he didn't, ever really formally surrender to the process, you could say. So, but he did get things from association with the devotees. So when Madhav was a little boy, he would teach him what he knew. And so Madhav got these samskars when he was a little boy. So then when Madhav did eventually in his life have some difficulty, he turned to, oh, let me study these books that my dad told me about when I was a little boy. And so he studied these books and then he had some realization and he said, oh, let me go to the temple. So then he started going to the temple and him and his dad started coming. And since they've come to the temple, then he very exponentially started to make more and more advancement and he more and more desire to devote his life in this way. And now you're seeing him.
You said his father, Craig. Did we see him here?
Yeah, you should have met him before. The only other older white gentleman who comes here.
Oh, you mean he was singing so much? Is he the one?
He's not a big singer, I would say, but maybe one day. But, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Madhav might know. But as of right now, I haven't seen him as a big singer. But maybe, who knows? He was listening before. Maybe he'll sing.
He lives in this area?
Yeah, he lives only a town over. That's
Oh.
yes. It was a miracle we found Madhav. It was a miracle. How could Krishna have had this person waiting only a town over? So like this. Um so anyway, but you can also do. Everyone can do. It's not just people who get lucky or something. Everyone. You're lucky to even hear about Krishna. But now do you have the desire to actively seek Krishna? That's all that's the only thing.
Yeah, he introduced. I saw him first.
So just
I didn't know anything about
yeah,
Gita.
yeah. So this is amazing. This is Krishna's mercy coming to you through Madhav. And someone came to Madhav as well. And someone came to me as well. And someone came to the person who told me about it as well. This is the mercy descending from Krishna. He always makes sure mercy is coming. But you have to be intelligent and take the mercy and act on the mercy. That's what the new you. That's what you should do for the new year. We've already told you about devotion. We've already told you this is the topmost conclusion. You'll have perfection of life. Everything you need out of life will come. Now, who is intelligent enough to do something about it now? So just do it. Do it. You'll come. Participate with us as much as you practically possibly can in your life, and you'll get a great result. Yeah, maybe not, maybe you're not going to find a bunch of gold lying here, or anything like that, but you'll get something much better. You'll get a real sense of happiness, a real sense of peace, and you'll have an eternal goal, an eternal vision, and nothing could ever destroy it. This work that you do in bhakti can never ever be destroyed. No one can destroy it. Some thief can steal all of your money. Some some circumstance, some thief can come and steal your wife or your husband away too. There's so many things that could happen that your job can be delegated elsewhere or lost immediately. Your PhD program could be canceled or you can fail out. Anything could happen. But bhakti can never be destroyed. What you do, the work you do for Krishna, he has marked it down and that's an eternal credit in your spiritual bank account. No one can ever take it away. It'll never be lessened. And the good thing with bhakti is the more you share bhakti, the more your bank account goes up even more. So normally if I were to share some money with you, then I'll have less money. Or if I were to share some food with you, I'll have less food. But if I share bhakti with you, you'll have more bhakti and I'll have more bhakti. So this is a very good situation. So you practice bhakti and you'll be very happy. I promise. So please don't think there's another conclusion in life. Oh, I'll do the bhakti later. Maybe I have a little bit time on the weekend. No, bhakti should be your very life, actually. If you actually understand reality and you understand that everything is an intimate expansion of God and that the only thing that a soul really has to do is to serve God because that's who we really are at nature, then you'll do something about it. But we don't know as of right now. We're still clouded. No, no, no. I'm pretty sure that this is much more important. Mommy and daddy have this arranged for me, or maybe, my sons and grandsons, they have this arranged for me, or this, or my own desires are this arranged. This is not ultimately seated in reality. What is seated in reality is you're a servant of God. Your life will be most blessed and best if you actively try to act in that position. How to do that? That can be revealed by the empowered servants of God, Krishna's dear devotees, and we are remnants of them trying to help you, engage you, everyone here, and then and also facilitate a place where you can meet the more exalted and advanced servants, and then they can really, really help you. So just come. That's easy. You come, learn more, dance, chant, and in your life you should take some practice. Don't go home and just say, all right, well, next time they have a program. We have a program every day, by the way. You can literally come every day and engage in bhakti with us every day. So we have that set up every day at 8 a.m., except Wednesdays and Sundays where we have our main programs for everyone else. 8 a.m., you can come and we were doing it and you join us. No problem. We'll cook for you easy. No problem. But um, but even on your own, everyone can take a book, Bhagavad Gita, you can study Bhagavad Gita on your own. Everyone can also take some japa beads and you can chant Krishna's name some portion of the day. All right, I'm going to practice chanting a mantra to Krishna for, 10 minutes today, 20 minutes today. Everyone can do something. So what it is you can do, we'll see. Even if while you're cooking, nowadays it's so nice. You can listen to a YouTube lecture, or you can hear something about Krishna. We have wonderful YouTube channels of teachers. We even have a YouTube channel. Everything we share here is on YouTube. So while you're cooking, you can listen to lectures and you can get deeper in bhakti. But everyone has a way. And yeah,
On YouTube, you got as Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah.
yeah. I think I shared with you the YouTube channel. Yes.
Well, I just want to listen.
Yeah.
It says Bhakti Yoga on the YouTube.
My YouTube channel is Ramdas Bhakta, which implies that someone who's sharing Bhakti
Oh,
Yoga.
Ramdas Bhakta.
Yes. So, but anyway, all of our programs we put on the YouTube channel too. So anyone can listen to a lecture here, but there's also many great teachers. Our teachers have much better classes even than we have, so you can listen to great teachers as well. But anyhow, uh, or where, at the very least, anyone can chant Krishna's name. When you're doing laundry, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You're working in the lab, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Anyone could do something. And then Krishna will lead you, just like he led me and Madhav and everyone how to go deeper. He will lead you deeper. Anyone who serves him with love and devotion, he will make them realize how to come to him. He will inspire them in the heart how to take the next step. So you just start the process. Immediately do something about it. How can I make my life more filled with bhakti? And if you start to actively act on that, Krishna will do the rest. He'll perform miracles in your life. So you just see. And we're here to help. We're part of the agents of Krishna's miracle. Uh, we have access to so many things by Krishna's mercy, and we can share all that access with you. And you just have to come, and then the next step also you should ask. Like Vijay is very smart in the back. He's asking, all right, how do I practically do these things? How do I clarify these things? So Vijay because the more he does that, he will make so much advancement. And so if you also develop this tendency, you can make advancement too. But if you're just like, well, I'll just continue doing what I'm doing, you'll make some advancement, no problem. But if you get clarity from the devotees, and especially the advanced devotees, then you'll get a really good program ahead of you. So that's our program. We have to stop here. Let's do an arti. As is tradition, we're about 20 minutes late, like usual. So practically everyone's here Indian time. Anyway, me and Madhav we've decided we're going to be Indian culturally anyway. So we're here on Indian time. Yes. So all right.